Well, this is quite the setup. You find me in my parents' basement where I emptied this, well, I could call it a table, but it's just a plank on some wood. I emptied this to do some testing of audio that was delivered here because this is also where my storage is. I usually don't test here, but there's already so much stuff in my house. This camera's a bit low, isn't it? That's better. There's so much stuff in my house already that I figured I should do it here and not drag it to my place. I've got some stuff to test with. I don't have everything. I can't repair anything. I don't have any screwdrivers. But let's just do a first impressions video of the massive pile of stuff that is behind me. Okay. Probably should have brought my belts, but I didn't. So if this doesn't have a belt, that's going to be a challenging one to test. The good news is it does have a belt. It's an Akai AP100. Comes with a cartridge. A rather nice Audio-Technica one, probably a PL11 or so. It's Toshiba branded, but that doesn't fool me. Let's find a power cable for this one. Oh, that's something we need. A power strip. Let's get that sorted out. You can expect the image to move a bit between shots because you're on a ladder which has a speaker on it, which has a small tripod on it, which has the camera on it. So it's not the most stable setup, but here we go. I found a power strip with the wonkiest switch ever, a bit tricky, but also a very long cable, which is good because the power socket is not that nearby. Let's plug in this power cable. God, child protection things. They always get me. Let's plug it in. If it starts turning right away, probably the capacitor is broken. It does not. Okay, it's running. It is obviously, as they do, returning. Okay, let's try again. Lift up. Okay, lift down, and now it should go down. There you go. Lift works. Dampening is not a thing, but it works otherwise. Does it run at both speeds? It does. So what we need now is an amplifier and speakers. It's 30-degree weather, just over 30, or for you Freedom Units people, just over 90 degrees. So it's really nice to be in this basement where it is a lot cooler. It's actually quite cool here. I got a pair of speakers that don't fill me with confidence. They are Philips speakers that once went with a very big Matchline TV. And as you can see, the foam surrounds are completely rotted, so there's absolutely no way these are going to stay. But, you know, they're good for testing, because if I blow them up, well, I don't think anyone is going to refoam these things, so they are probably a good option to destroy. I will still try not to, though. Let's hook this up and see if the record player, the amplifier and the speakers work as much as they can work. Now, I did bring test CDs and test tapes, but I forgot to bring test records. I found this box that I know is full of horrible music. I kept it for the box. I still have to get rid of the records. But horrible music or no horrible music, I will be able to test with this. So let's battle through the horrible music that is in this box in order to test this record player and such. The amplifier already turned on. It's set to tuner. That works. Okay. Yep. I hooked them up the wrong way around, but who cares? Let's get one of those horrible records. Oh, that's not that bad actually. I thought it was way worse than that. Okay. Hope you want to do 45. I'm not sure because the belt is a bit loose. Something is a bit wobbly here, but it's probably just the table, to be honest, because that is... No, there is actually a foot missing. Not the biggest of deals. Phono. Okay, that appears to be working. Careful with the lift. Helps if you take the stylus protector off. I can already hear sound. Come on. That is hard to get off. Don't want to ruin anything, so let me... There we go. Stylus protectors probably ruined more styli than they saved. Here we go. Yeah, that just works. So what does this need? A new belt? A foot, so it's not wobbly. That's really it. Even the dust cover is great. So I'm gonna put this back for now, even though I'm a bit skeptical of this protector doing a protect. Mostly fighting it. There we are. That record player is okay, and the amplifier works fine, so that is a good start. The speakers obviously don't sound great with rotted through surrounds, but they're good enough for testing. So we got ourselves a little setup and Gloria gainer. Probably shouldn't play too much of that because music rights. That's one, good start. So since we have an amplifier and speakers, I suggest we start with the sources and not with things that also need speakers or are amplifiers. So let's start with this simple Sony double cassette deck. Now, knowing Sony, I should probably first plug this in and see how broken it is. That's an interesting thing. It has a female power connector here, but that should work. Power on. I can already hear things spin, and that probably means the belts are toast, which they tend to be. Let's see. This is the Sony TC-V925E. It's a pretty serious model, but again, it's a Sony. Yep, that doesn't do anything. And this doesn't do anything. It's always the same with these. And it's such a pain in the backside to fix those belts that I'm like, whatever. It has CCLA, I forgot what it stands for, but I thought it said cola for a second. I was like, that's funky. But yeah, no, the Sony, I'm not gonna do. I unplugged the amplifier though, that was not the idea. Next up is this little Technics CD player. It's a nice size, the SLPJ Pyjamas 28A. Needs a power cable that I need to find first. Got one. It's just one of those 8 shaped ones. Loop-de-loop. Okay, let's plug it in. Sort of expect this one to work, but you know, you never know. Power's on. Does it open? Yes. Well, we've got our royalty-free music disc here. I did obviously bring that. Let's set this to CD. These are not great sounding amps, but they're kind of nice to work with. Ooh, doesn't sound happy. It's not getting far, and I don't think it's the disc in this case. Let's try a slightly less beat up disc. It goes tick 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 tick. Did you see me catch that? Yeah, that's not a happy camper. So SL Pyjama 28A is going on the bye-bye pile as well. Oh, that's a power amplifier. Look at that. That's a power amp. We're gonna test that, but we're gonna have to test that with something that has a controllable volume out. So let's do that later. Otherwise it's gonna give you the full Monty, and I don't know how much that is, but it's probably gonna be loud. Let's test something that is definitely going anyway. It's a Q Media record player. Absolute junk. They usually work, that's not the problem, but they are record killing machines. Let's see. Power. Whoa, that's 78, isn't it? Okay, the speeds are slightly wonky, it seems. We have a choice of 33 or 78. And this is running really rough. And I don't think it's going to go down, is it? It is not. God, quality equipment. It figured it out. Oh, for a bit. It's completely lost it. Anyway, this is a piece of junk at the best of times. So all we're gonna do with this one is take the single adapter and this is going. That's a plastic platter. No rubber mat. No. Who would need that? Now this here is an extra awesome record player. It's the Technics SL10. That's a really serious one. It even has a built-in MMMC preamp. I'm a bit baffled that this is in this stack. It comes with a separate screw. And I think this is an MC cartridge. Yeah, I don't know which one, but that's what it is. It's a Technics 310 MC. So the preamp needs to be set to MC, to my surprise. Okay. Now these can break badly. Let's see if this one's broken. One way to find out. 45 RPM. I don't know what that means, but I'm just going to close this. Press start. Power it on. Press start. It starts spinning. The arm is moving. Not very smoothly, but it's moving. That definitely needs love. Okay, it's trying to get to where it needs to be, but it's barely making it. Just helping it a little. Almost there. There you go. Tape. That's very quiet. What's going on? Almost sounds like it needs a phono input, but then what? Is that just an MC step up then? Interesting. Let's see. Let's try phono. Phono? Yep. So other than the arm being extremely slow, it appears to be working. I just realized you can't see very much. I'm going to move this over a little bit so you can actually see what's going on. Let's move the amplifier here because I'm sure you've seen enough of that. Here we are. And this is the subject at hand here, right in front of your noses. So this is a really, really fancy record player. These fetch good money. This one's in great shape, but also again, something's off with the arm transport. Now it may just be that it needs grease. It does look a bit dry. There's also a lock. That's how you lock the arm. Okay, that's a good thing to do. Yeah, this is absolutely worth some work if it's fixable. So definitely gonna take care of this one. Just not right now, obviously. The Technics SL10. It's very fancy. Very fancy. Is it something I would ever use? No, but it's very fancy. There's a note on this one. 23rd of August 2022. Check and repair, parts are inside. Yeah. Wow, quality. Silver cassette deck. Looks pretty cool, but it's extremely light. You'd be surprised how often these extremely simple things turn out to work. So we're gonna hook it up. Output to tape in. It's all a bit bent. And then power. Okay. A silver. Power's on. That's not an awful lot. Capstan is not running. There's a capacitor. I'm not sure if you can see, but there's one VU all the way up. Chances are it's just a dirty record switch. Ooh. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay, we got that to be quiet. Let's see if we can get some sound out of it. And then we had a Kenwood CD player. It is the DP730. These are actually not half bad. The entire series is pretty good. They came with a MIDI stereo rig, MIDI-sized stereo rig that actually performs quite well. I think it has a disc. No, it does not. Okay. Well, it's not a happy pile so far. Here we go. You got this. That needs a new belt, but if that's all. It's trying to read. It's reading. Here we go. Beat up test disc, of course. So if this reads it somewhat, I'm already happy. But maybe that's a bit too much to ask already. This one I may not be able to test because I didn't realize there was a mini disc in the pile and a fancy one as well. This is the MDS JE700. It has a sticker on it, does not read, and that's my handwriting. So next up, a Yamaha cassette deck. I haven't seen which one yet. I think a 3 series. It's a really awesome display actually. Pretty sure that used to go slower. Seems to be running. I see VUs. Not hearing anything. Tape in. Ooh, Something is distorting. Okay, is the speaker distorting? There we go. But this seems to work. Bit slow, but fast forward, rewind, play. Oh, Dolby was on. It should even sound a little brighter. These speakers are horrible. We should get some better speakers to judge this one properly and something to record from. Because currently we don't have a source that we can hook up to this. So I'm going to leave this one be for a bit. Just going to put this on there. So we have a stack. Okay, well, we've got ourselves a source. I just found that all of the other stuff have their own amplifiers or are record players. So let's do record players now while the Sony is here. Right. I don't even know what this is. It looks modern. It has a modern looking manual. Haven't figured out the brand yet. We'll see in a bit. That needs a belt. This is a... no clue. It's a Denon. Well, Denon record player. Clearly the belt is gone. And this also doesn't seem too happy, to be honest. I'm going to take this off for a bit so I can... there we go. Now it's in straight. There we are. Mat's upside down. Belt is actually there. It's just off. Here we go. So the platter is apparently bent and is hitting the motor. I just sort of fixed that. Obviously that's not ideal. There's a record switch here so it can record to USB for some reason. It has a USB port as well in the front. Look at that. There's a USB port there. What are you? As soon as I press rec it starts playing, so we don't need... stop recording please. Okay, size 17. Where's that adapter? Oh yeah. I sort of expect this to work. Let's see. We need access to that as well, of course, because we want to record the tape. Is there maybe some music that's not going to get me into royalty music trouble? Okay, this looks like something YouTube is not going to recognize. Martin Wilms and his orchestra, Rumba Tamba. It's probably going to be horrendous, but if it keeps us out of trouble, we can actually use it to test. If now the video goes quiet, that is because it didn't keep us out of trouble. Phono... no, I didn't hook it up yet, so no phono... Aha! Well, we've got two channels coming in. Let's record, well, 12 dB seems a bit much, let's record as such. We have tape monitor? I don't think we do, no. So here we go. That's more than enough of that. Where's the lift? Doesn't have a lift. It's fully automatic without a lift. That's horrible. Doesn't matter. Do we have a recording here? I would say this is fully functional, and so is this, but it can actually record vinyl onto a USB stick, which I would love to try, but I can't, because I don't have a USB stick here. But the thing works, so not too shabby. I'm happy to inform everyone and their ears that at the bottom of the pile there's a pair of rather good-looking Technics speakers. So let's hook those up, hope they work. It's going to be a lot more pleasant than those broken Philipses. As you can see, I made it out of the basement unscathed. That was part one. There's going to be quite a lot of these basement videos. Hope you like them. I kind of like them. There's something about the grunge of the basement. This series had a lot of broken stuff, so be ready for that. But yeah, that was part 1, and I'm just gonna carry on with part 2, probably next week, maybe some other week. There will be a part 2. See you then, and see you next week, whatever comes.